Greeting to all the students. Welcome to UGC NTA NET Paper 1 preparation for August 2022 batch. And today in this particular session, we are going to see teaching aptitude most expected latest questions with new topics and new concepts. So that will help you to give an extensive detail about this unit. And let's ensure that, this unit is going to help you in some or other way, that is the session for today's unit is going to help you in some or other way to revise the concepts as well as to know the new concepts. Before we go ahead, let's have a quick look at what does Global Online has to offer you. Global Online has brought a quick revision PDF for paper 1, which is consisting of 2000 plus MCQs that are nothing but updated MCQs, current affairs, previous year question papers, and most repeated question papers, which are available at a fee cost of rupees 599. You can get this with the help of the given WhatsApp number. You can ping us on the given WhatsApp number in order to avail your copy of revision PDF. At the same time, we do have a crash course for UGC NET 2022 paper 1, wherein we have the lectures, which are that is daily live lectures, which have notes, that is PDF notes on all the topics, last 10-year question papers, test series, which is consisting of 2500 questions. All are available at Global Online app, or you can also ping on us on the WhatsApp number. The fees is 3500. Currently a 30% discount is going on, so this fees is available at the course is available at 2450. You can do one thing. You can go to the Play Store. You can download Global Online app, and based on that, you can see the interface. You can register yourself with the help of registered mobile number. Once you purchase the course, you will enter into the content form where you have all the folders listed as per the unit wise, including the theory lectures, MCQ lectures, notes, mock test, and evaluation test. And this is all available under one umbrella, which will help you to prepare very well for your paper 1. Apart from this, we also have paper 2 notes and MCQs available. So the paper 2 subjects are listed on the screen, as well as you have notes and MCQs for the same subjects, which is at a cost of rupees 1500. Here also a 30% off is going on, so the total costing is 1050. This is what Global Online has to offer you for paper 1 as well as paper 2. So now let's start the preparation for the teaching aptitude question. Here comes your first question. I'll explain you the question very well. There are some different questions today, but this definitely will help you to explore the topic deeply, analyze it and study it, and be prepared for your August 2022 cycle. So the question is, what is the name for the type of checklist or rating scale which is used to express the quality of performance of a student? So in order to determine the quality of the performance of student, what is the rating scale or checklist known as? Whether it is known as diffusion, whether it is known as rubrics, whether it is known as track system, or whether it is known as deduction. So I'll repeat once again. In order to determine the performance of the quality of a performance of a student, the checklist or a rating scale is expressed as what? So it is expressed as diffusion, it is expressed as rubrics, it is expressed as track system, or it is expressed as deduction. So what it is called as? So you can understand the terms and come to the answer. You have some 1 minute time to read the question once again and come to the answer. So when we look at them, and if you look at all the options minutely, so the right answer, the students who are aware of this topic, it's not topic, the concepts can definitely come to the right answer, and the right answer is rubrics. So diffusion is something which is related to the molecule system, which is not related to the question. Track system, yes, track system keeps a track, it does not talks about performance in detail, and deduction is not related to the question. So when we talk about performance quality, it is a rubrics. A rubrics is nothing but a scoring tool that talks about the work or a piece of work which counts. It talks about the components or the work which is assigned, describing the work in detail, and talking about the various level of mastery. So when you have such a tool, these tool will help you to come up with the performance or the quality of performance of a student, and hence it is called as what? Rubrics. So your first question answer is this rubrics. Okay, moving on to question number 2 now. The rationalistic. Now when you read at this question, just ensure that you're reading this question in a very simple form. You know the answer because the topic we have learned some or other way. The only thing is you're supposed to ensure that you are reading the question very properly. The rationalistic mode of knowledge accepts the rule of what? So when we talk about the rationalistic mode of knowledge, it accepts the mode, the rationalistic mode of knowledge accept the rules of what? Either it is legality, either it is manipulation, either it is logic, or either it is authority. So with which of the options stands to be the right option? The rationalistic mode. Just keep a close, I mean to say, just read that word very clearly. You will automatically come to the answer. The rationalistic mode of knowledge. So when we talk about rationalistic mode, rationalism or rationalistic is related to what? Is it related to legality? Is it related to manipulation? Is it related to logic, or is it related to authority? So which of them stands to be correct? So yes, when we see legality and rationality, does it has connection? Manipulation and rationality, does it have connection? Logic or rationality, does it have connection? Authority and rationality, does it has connection? So what is the word, which is connected? Based on that, you have to come up with what? Based on that, you have to come up with the answer. So yes, the rationalistic mode of knowledge which accepts the rule is nothing but logic. So rationalism is related to what? It is related to logic, and that's the reason the right answer stands to be what? The right answer stands to be logic. Coming to question number 3. Now see, question number 3, they have given very smartly. They have given you the content areas, that is, the content subject areas, and they have integrated the application in the form of technology. So you have to tell that which is matching to what. So the first is, reading or language art. The second is the mathematics, the third is science, and fourth is social studies. So reading, that is reading, mathematics, science, and social studies, they are integrated with which technology application? Whether it is software programs to develop basic reading skills, simulations to explore distance places, graphing calculations to illustrate abstract or hard to visualize relationships, simulation to illustrate complex relationships. So what exactly it is talking about? So let's understand them in detail. You have to match the pairs. Let me see how many of you are able to do. This is an example form of a question, a unique question, which can be a part of your, your answers. So let us see how it is going to work out. So language, that is language, mathematics, science, and social studies. So what it talks about. Yes. Coming to the right answer. So answers are given. You can just have a look, take a minute time and ensure that you're coming with the right answer. So the right answer is option number B. So when we talk about when we talk about language, yes, it is related to reading skills. So software program to develop basic reading skills when it comes to language and reading. When we talk about mathematics, it is nothing but the calculation. So graphing calculations to illustrate abstract or hard to visualize relationship. When we talk about science, it talks about simulations to illustrate complex relations. And when we talk about social studies, it is simulations to explore distant places as well as times. So yes, so the right answer is option number B, where we have matched all the pairs correctly. Okay. Coming to question number 4. As I said, whenever I had taken a theory class, whenever I have taken MCQ classes, I have always emphasized on this type of question, stating that, such questions are very, very commonly, frequently seen in UGC, that is net examination. And this, in the recent cycle, this is the one of the method they have been implementing. It talks about what? It talks about the taxonomy of educational objectives to identify the cognitive behavior. So it is talking about Bloom's taxonomy, where we have cognitive, affective, and psychomotor domains. Okay. And based on that, which of the objectives are correct, or the sequence of the objectives for cognitive behavior. The option given are knowledge, application, understanding, analysis, and synthesis. So you have to list them. All the objectives are given. You have to list these objectives in a sequence. So what comes? So whether it is knowledge, whether it is application, whether it is understanding, whether it is analysis, or whether it is synthesis. You have minutes time in order to answer this question and come to the right option. If you want, I'll repeat the question again till the time. If the students are reading on your own, you can read on your own, or I'll definitely read it once for you all. They are talking about the taxonomy of educational objectives in order to identify the sequence of cognitive behavior. So which of them, is talking about this cognitive behavior or the sequence of the cognitive behavior? So whether it is knowledge, whether it is application, whether it is understanding, whether it is analysis, or whether it is synthesis. So let me see how many of you are coming to this very clearly and correctly. So yes, the right option is option number C, where it starts with, that is knowledge. Remembering, knowledge is nothing but remembering. Then it comes to understanding, then applicating the same, that is applying. Then we have analysis, and then we have synthesis. So if you remember, this is what we used to do in our theory classes. In many MCQ classes also, I have taken these questions, that is cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. So cognitive is based on mind, okay, mental ability. Affective is based on feelings and emotions, whereas psychomotor is based on kinesthetic, okay, bodily movements. So when we talk about cognitive, it is something, it is listing the sequence, that is remembering, knowledge, understanding, applying. I'm going from lowest to highest, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. When we talk about affective domain, it talks about receiving, responding, valuing, organizing, as well as, characterizing by values. Then when we talk about psychomotor, it is imitation, manipulation, precision, articulation, and naturalization. So these are the sequences in every step, which is, a part of various domains. Then coming next is question number 5. So yes, we have done some questions, but not a detailed question. So we have taken a detailed question on Heutagogy model of teaching. So the andragogy, pedagogy, and Heutagogy. We have done these 3 models in our theory class. So here the question is based on Heutagogy model. So Heutagogy model of teaching is best described as what? An extended form of pedagogy, an extended form of andragogy, or and promote with the one which promotes logical and critical thinking skills, or option number B and option number C, that is the extended form of andragogy and it promotes logical and critical thinking skills. So let me see how many of you are able to answer, because the question was, we have done some questions, but this is a different question on pedagogy we are doing. That is, we have done some questions on andragogy, pedagogy, as well as Heutagogy, but not this type of question. So this is something different question. So let's see how many of you are able to do it very well. I'll repeat, the Heutagogy model of teaching is best described as what? An extended form of pedagogy, an extended form of andragogy, or logical and critical thinking skills, or both B and C. So yes, the right answer is option number D, that is andragogy and logical and critical thinking skills. So when we talk about Heutagogy model of teaching, it's best described as an extended form of andragogy. It is learner-centered model of teaching, which promotes logical and critical thinking. But let us do that in detail. So let us come with detail also. So when we talk about the comparisons, there are 3 teaching methodology, that is pedagogy, andragogy, and Heutagogy. So when we talk about pedagogy, it is learner dependent. Andragogy, it is adults are independent over here, whereas Heutagogy, learners are interdependent on each other. In pedagogy, teacher is, it is the things, the resources are controlled by teacher, whereas in andragogy, teacher and adult has a equal contribution towards the control, whereas in Heutagogy, it is learner and teacher and learner provided, but the path is negotiated. Learner is the one who negotiates the path. Reasons in learning. So pedagogy, basically it is derived to get a next level of learning. Andragogy, to increase the performance of learning. Whereas in Heutagogy, it is, a potential to bring a potential learning, which is unplanned or, non-linear. Focus, when it comes to learning focus, pedagogy is subject-centered, andragogy is problem-centered, okay? Whereas Heutagogy is not only problem-centered, but it is proactive. Motivation level for pedagogy, it is always external. Andragogy, it is within the individual, and Heutagogy, it is self-efficacy driven. It means based on the self-efficiency of the individual. Teaching role in pedagogy, it is like a imposer, a designer, a knowledge holder. In andragogy, it is collaborator, and in heutagogy, it is capacity builder. So you can get any type of questions, but you have to be ready because questions are expected from this topic also. Okay. Next is question number 6. Okay, so let's see now what we have in question number 6. So question number 6 is basically, which of the following methods are learner centered? Now we have done an analysis, channel has done an analysis on the based on July 2022 cycle, whereas this topic was considered. You have questions based on learner and teacher centered. So one of the question I have taken is, which of the following methods are learner centered teaching methods? So whether it is active learning, whether it is cooperative learning, whether it is inductive teaching and learning, or whether it is passive learning. So which of them are, a part of learner centered teaching methods? So let's understand once again the question. The question is asking you about which of the following methods are learner centered teaching methods. So whether it is active learning, whether it is cooperative learning, whether it is inductive teaching and learning, or whether it is passive learning. So just remember, what is the question? What is the keyword? The question is talking about learner centered teaching. So you have the options given below. You can go with odd man out also, and accordingly you can come up with an option, right option. So yes, let me see how many of you, if you go with elimination, you will definitely come to the right answer. So yes, the right answer is option number A. Active learning is learner centered, cooperative learning is learner centered, as well as inductive teaching and learning is learner centered. Passive learning is not learner centered. Okay, now question number 7. Now, question number 7 talks about various factors which influence, which are influencing and teaching learning process, and the learning illustrations. They have given an example. So the factors which influence the process is psychological factors, socio-cultural factors, institutional factors, or teaching learning itself. And the illustrations is method of teaching, faculty relationship, intelligence, or family. So let's see how many of you are able to do it correctly. There are various factors which influences, learning, and there are various learning illustrations. So you have to match with those. So let's see how many of you are able to do it correctly. I will give you a minute's time. You can come with the right answer, and make sure that your answers are coming properly. Okay, you can go with, there are some keywords through which you can identify them and come up with the right option. So let's see. Yes. So right answer is answer D. So if you see, maybe you're not, like for example, you're not able to find out any of them. So psychologically, you're not able to understand whether it is related to, actually psychology is intelligence. Okay. Social cultural, when we talk about social cultural factors, it's family. Now institution, now see, when we talk about institutional, it is talking about educational institutions where yes, very importantly, faculty relationship is very important, and teaching learning methods of teaching. So you need to just cross check, think over it and cross check. Now when I say institution, why methods of teaching? Because in teaching learning, methods of teaching will be more emphasized rather than in institution. Okay, so you need to think over your options properly, see which are falling into the right criteria, which are not, and accordingly come to the options. Okay, next is question number 8. Now let's see what is question number 8 talking about. Now the question number 8 is talking about one of the topic, that is cooperative learning. So which of the following is not related to the characteristics of cooperative learning? They are asking us, they are telling us about, they have given a concept of cooperative learning, and they're saying that this is not the given options. From the given options, one is not a part of cooperative learning. So which is that? Experiences that develop good learning and social skills, students feel overloaded and too much work in group, building positive relationship with students, or providing individual attention and assistance to one another. Which of them? So you can even come up with an odd man out and eliminate that point, but you have to remember what exactly the question is, because the question is telling you to highlight which is not related to the characteristics of cooperative learning. Experiences that develop good learning and social skills, students feel overloaded. Then we have building positive relationship within the students and provide individual attention and assistance to one another. So yes, the right option comes as students will see. Now, experiences that develop good learning and social skills, yes, it is a part of cooperative learning. Building positive relationship, it is something positive. Yes, it is a part of cooperative learning. Providing individual assistance, yes, it is a part of cooperative learning. So students, when they feel overloaded with too much work, okay, group in work, too much work in group, it is called as, it is something which is odd man out. It is not a part of cooperative learning. Okay. Next, in question number 9, the principle students learn together but perform alone is an example of what? So this is one of the principle. The principle states that students learn together. So when it comes to learning, students do it together, but when it comes to performance, they do it individually or they do it alone. So it is called as what? What is the principle term as? Individual accountability, positive interdependence, face-to-face interaction, or group processing. It will be defined as what? So from the given options, what it will be defined as? I'll read again. The principle student learn together but perform alone is an example of what? Individual accountability, positive interdependence, face-to-face interaction, or it is called as group processing. So yes, the right answer is yes, individual accountability. So when the students learn together, it is, yes, it is, the teaching learning process is happening, which is again a cooperative form of learning or teaching. But when it comes to performance, then it is the accountability of what? It is an accountability of individuals. So it is not positive interdependence or a face-to-face interaction or group processing, but it is individual accountability when every student has to take an accountability. Okay. Now, assertion and reasons. So let us see assertion and reason, what they are talking about. So assertion is learning can be done without a teacher. Reason is the term learner is a broader concept than student. Now here, I have always been telling you that whenever you get an assertion or reason question, just ensure that you are seeing the assertion. That is, assertion is an individual statement and the reason is related to assertion. You don't have to take your perception or you don't have to take into consideration your ideas. You just have to look at the question as a statement form of you and the given reason, is it falling correctly or not? Okay. So learning can be done without a teacher, whether it is right or wrong. The term learner is broader concept than the student. So yes, so the right answer is both are correct. See, for learning, I'll explain you. Learning does not compulsory requires a teacher. Okay, it can be done without a teacher. Okay, by observation skills, by by understanding or by going through the process, learning can be done. So when you come to a concept called as learning, it is really a broad concept and it is not associated to only student. It can be any method, any form of learning can be useful in order to ensure that the teaching or learning is happening. Hence, both statement A as well as statement B are, they are called as what? Statement A and B are both correct. Okay. Now, when we talk about next is question number 11. Now, question number 11 is the characteristics. You have the categories of learner characteristics. Even in July 2022 analysis, we have taken up this topic and this topic has given importance. So you should know this topic very well. So we are talking about what? We are talking about learners characteristics and the features. So the characteristics are personal characteristics. This is the same as your syllabus. Your syllabus has personal characteristics, academic characteristics, social characteristics, cognitive characteristics. The features are demography, goals, self-image, and attention span. So you need to match the characteristics with the features or with the skills. So personal characteristics talks about what? Academics characteristics talk about what? Social characteristics talks about what? And cognitive characteristics talks about what? Okay. So let's see how many of you are able to do it very clearly. Okay, I'm just waiting for the right answer so that the students can come to the right answer. Okay. Yes. So the right answer is option number C. So when we talk about personal characteristics, it is basically the demography. When we talk about academic characteristics, that is the goals, the achievement. When we talk about the social characteristics, that is the image. When we talk about the cognitive characteristics, that is attention span or span of control. I'll explain you what it means. See, personal characteristics, it means the demography, okay? Based on the personal demographic, you know, your the features, the category is divided. Okay, maybe the gender you can say, maybe the age you can say, maybe the skills you can say. So on basis of that, personal characteristics plays an important role. When we talk about academic characteristics, characteristics takes into consideration the goals, that is the achievement which is set. Social characteristics take into consideration the image of a person, that is the self image, whereas cognitive characteristics takes into consideration is the span of control, that is the attention. So it is option number A, B, and C, are equally given and explained also. So this is also one of the form where you can get your questions into. Next. Which of the following was the inception year of flipped classroom? Now see, it's very, very important. Flipped classroom, you have got a question, but then such direct question, and this is a factual question. So in teaching aptitude, there are only hardly some few places where you get factual questions. So this is one among them. Which of the, okay, in which of the year flipped classroom method was, incepted? So whether it is 2000, 2005, 2007, 2010. Which of them? Flipped classroom method, if you do not know, I'll come to it. We have done this already in our theory classes also. So let's see. Which of the following is the inception year of flipped classroom? So the inception year of flipped classroom is 2007. Okay. So basically flipped classroom is a blended learning. I'll first explain you, wait a minute. I'll just take you to the flipped classroom first. And what is the difference between a traditional and a flipped classroom? So when it comes to traditional classroom, it is the lecture method and the homework activities which are, combined. Whereas flipped classroom has a lecture, but the homework activities are conducted in the classroom itself. Like for example, maybe given in a worksheet or, telling to prepare for a concept. So that will be conducted or that will be done in the classroom itself. So there is nothing, which comes as a homework activity. Everything gets divided into the classroom as a lecture and the classroom activities. So flipped classroom is a blended way of learning. Flipped classroom was been popular since 2007. It was started by Jonathan Bergman and Aaron Sam. So you can keep these names in mind. In flipped classroom, teacher shares video with students who can watch the content at home, and then the students work on the assignments in the classroom. So whatever activities, as I said, the worksheets can be done in the classroom itself. Okay. Then the next question we have is, which of the following method of teaching has the main feature of spontaneity in the application? So you have one of the method over here. Now the method they're talking about one example, in fact, they have given, and the example is, they are saying that feature of spontaneity. Now spontaneity, it means which is sudden, performance is sudden, or it is a reaction to a stimulus. So something which is very quick or something which is very prompt. So it is one of the feature, okay, of teaching has the main feature of spontaneity. So it is which followed in flipped classroom or heuristic method or brainstorming or formative peer assignment. So where can you find this feature of spontaneity? So the feature of spontaneity is applicable in brainstorming. So let's see what it means. So basically, just a second. Yeah. Alex Osborne introduced the idea generation system that was called as brainstorming, which is useful as a method of teaching as well. Ideas flows in without thinking or without judgment. You are just being told to, come up with the ideas without any judgment. Hence, here it is very spontaneous. The teacher acts as a felicitator of the session. And when the teacher, tell the students to participate, and it is one of the main feature, that is spontaneity is one of the main feature during idea generation. So when we talk about spontaneity, it is majorly seen in idea generation, which is nothing but it is technically called as what? It is called as the brainstorming process. Okay. Now, question number 14. Now, this I have taken this question in detail very well in the concepts when I has taken the concept of micro teaching. I hope you remember and you can attempt this question very clearly and easily and rightly. So, in the Indian model of micro teaching, okay, we have studied micro and macro teaching also. So, we are talking about micro teaching, wherein it is called as, which is conducted by teacher trainee. So in the Indian model of micro teaching, which is developed by NCERT, the number of student teachers should be what? 20, 25, 5 to 10, 40 to 50, or more than 50. So what is an ideal strength of micro teaching? In the process of micro teaching, what is the ideal strength of the teacher student? So the ideal strength in micro teaching is 5 to 10. So yes, the Indian model of micro teaching has the following features. The number of student teachers is 5 to 10. Real people, preferably, okay. Here we have a type of student teachers, that is type of students is real. A supervisor, that is teacher educators. The duration is 6 minutes, 6 to 10, you can say. And the duration of entire micro teaching cycle is 30 to 35, 36 minutes. So this you have to keep in mind. Micro teaching, a lot of questions also we have done. We have done topic also in detail. Okay, next one we have is mind mapping. So here they have just again, this question is a very direct question. In fact, very factual question they have given. Okay. So what is mind mapping? Basically, mind mapping is given by whom? Edgar Dale, Malcolm Knowles, or Tony Buzan, or none of this. So any student who do not know what is micro mapping. So micro mapping is nothing but, you map your mind. So it means that you are involved into a thinking process, the idea process, which you focus on, or which you come up with by having directions to your ideas, or by diagrammatically ensuring that this is how your roadmap or your journey will be. So basically, my micro mapping is nothing but a mapping process, which is nothing but writing down the central idea and thinking of new related ideas and then following the path. So this concept was brought down by whom? If you, I mean to say, if you want to know what is the importance of this process, so this process highlights the important facts, and overall structure, or it gives importance to individuals in order to think creatively. So who has brought this concept? So this concept was brought by Tony Buzan. So he was the one he was the one to bring up the concept of mind mapping in 1960. So it is an innovative cognitive tool, you can say, in order to understand the concepts, ideas, theories based on a central theme. And it is generally used in the form of presentations, brainstorming, problem solving, or project management. Coming to the last question. Now here, purposely, I have taken an example also. So you can, you can relate, because such question comes in an example form. So let's see how the example is. Here they are talking about IIT JEE and NEET comes under the category of which type of evaluation? Similar question was seen earlier also. So what I have taken some similar question in one of the MCQ session also. So IIT JEE and NEET comes under what? Formative, summative, placement, or aptitude evaluation. So which is the right answer over here? So I'll repeat again. They have given an examples of the examinations like IIT JEE and NEET. So which comes under which category? So yes, when we talk about that, IIT and IIT JEE and NEET, it comes under the category of aptitude. Now let's see. So when we say formative is a continuous process, an ongoing process with the intention of improvement. When we say placement test it is like, it is basically a pre-test in order to understand the feasible study stream for a student. Now, aptitude test is the one which talks about the potential or the desirable characteristics for a specific task, and that is generally in order to select the people for a specific course. Summative, it is an cumulative test which is conducted at the end based on the grades which are assigned, or the course the course which the grades which are achieved by the student. So here the examples which were given, that they belong to which type of category of evaluation, that was aptitude test. So yes, thank you everyone. Tomorrow we'll be coming up with new questions, most probably speed test questions, which will be a little bit faster, so that it will give you an idea about a time limit, and one time limit, what type of questions can be achieved. Okay, thank you everyone.